Hello, everyone. Happy Monday. And before I get to the topic for this episode, which is going to be about imposter syndrome, I want to make a little bit of a content announcements regarding some changes we're going to be making. Don't worry, they're all changes for the good. It's actually going to be more content coming your way. And what I'm going to be doing is doing these lives every Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern, as well as every Wednesday at 11 a.m. Eastern. So that's Mondays at 4 p.m. Eastern and Wednesdays at 11 a.m. Eastern. So if you can catch them live, that's really cool. I'd love to see you there. And if you're here, if you're watching, just drop a comment in. I try to keep an eye on those. Happy to see everybody. Happy to say hello. So we are going to be doing them Mondays at 4 p.m. and Wednesdays one more time at 11 a.m. Eastern. And then in addition, we'll also be posting some stuff, other content to the group on Tuesdays and Thursdays as well as some fun stuff on Fridays. We'll keep it casual Fridays. Hi, Kimberly. So great to see you here. So that's what you can kind of look forward to. Hi, Bob. And that's kind of what we're going to be doing. And also, one of the changes that I'm going to be making, just to keep myself a little bit more organized, but also to keep you guys on the same wavelength from week to week to week. And the topic of this week, I noticed, Kimberly, you had to jump on because you saw the topic. I'm going to be covering different topics every week. And the topic for this week is imposter syndrome. So that's what I'm going to talk about today. And I'm also going to talk about that on Wednesday as well. We'll be posting a couple articles about that throughout the week. And so what this will do, it'll allow us to kind of dive a little bit deeper into a bunch of different topics that we see come up again and again and again. A lot of the different struggles that we see our clients have, prospective clients have, and imposter syndrome is like at the top of the list. Let's make sure that we do that first. So I want to kind of start with just kind of an overview today and talk about essentially why imposter syndrome is going to kill your tech career and how to fight it. So look, I know where this comes from. I know what it feels like to feel like you're an imposter. You may be battling this like every day. Maybe some days it's in smaller ways and other days it's in bigger ways, where you go to work and you try your best to put on your leader hat, to be the leader that you know you're capable of being, but yet there are times when you wonder, am I good enough? Do I deserve a seat at this table? Will I ever get that raise? I work hard for sure, and I know I have the confidence, and you might feel those glimmers of hope, those glimmers of, yeah, I can do this, but then something happens, whether it's internal or external, right? One of those mind weasels might pop up, one of those limiting beliefs, one of those things kind of pop up in your head, and you're like, oh man, I don't know if I can do this. Or maybe something happens externally where you see a colleague get a promotion or a raise, and it may be the one that you've been going after. Like, I hear that's like a scenario that I hear happening, like, unfortunately, over and over and over again, where there's a promotion that is coming up. There's a position that's one higher up than yours. Maybe you're a manager and you want to move up to a director level position. And maybe you've made it known that this is a position that you want, or maybe you haven't. And you hear through the grapevine that someone else is kind of going after that position as well. And a lot of times it actually ends up being, that person's actually on my team. I'm their boss. Or I used to be their mentor. And so you kind of see yourself as more experienced than them. But then yet that person gets the raise, that person gets the promotion. And that's the kind of thing that can make imposter syndrome even worse, because then that's like external evidence. See, maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe I'm just not cut out for this technical leadership thing. And look, it happens to everybody, sometimes in those bigger ways, and sometimes it's in smaller ways too, where it's like maybe you're at a meeting I mentioned earlier, the mind weasel that might pop up is like, do I really deserve to be at this meeting? Are my contributions at this meeting, or my ideas, are my suggested action steps, are they really valued? And that can pop up. And then maybe it's a meeting with 10, 15 people, like a bigger meeting, or maybe it's in a smaller meeting too, where time and time again, you suggest something like, no, hey, I don't think we should do it this way. And here's all the reasons why, because we've done it this way in the past. The client doesn't really like it. It's too long-term of a solution. Let's just fix it right now. Again and again and again and again, you might make these suggestions of like, because if we do it your way, like it's gonna fail, because I have the experience to do this. And you make these suggestions, but yet time and time again, your suggestions are shot down. Time and time and time again, they're shot down. Nope, we're not gonna do it that way. Or maybe you're not even acknowledged for the suggestions that you're making. And then lo and behold, either, a number of different things can happen, like somebody else makes the same suggestion that you've been making for months. And then one of the higher ups is like, oh, wow, yeah, that's great. Let's go try that. And you do it, and it's awesome, of course, right? It's your idea. You knew it was going to work, but yet somebody else took credit for that idea, and the other person reaps all the rewards as well, including potentially benefits, recognition, and all that stuff that you deserved. Or maybe they don't listen. You go and do it their way, and it ends up failing. Maybe the organization that you work for ends up losing a client, losing money, causing more headaches and stress and hair pulling. And it's like, look, I'm making these suggestions, but nobody's listening. So in addition to the internal mind weasels, the internal limiting beliefs that can come up that we all have, by the way, about, am I enough? Am I good enough? Is this really what I deserve? Can I be a leader? There's all of the external stuff that happens as well. And that's how it shows up on a day-to-day basis in the bigger and smaller ways. And so here's the thing. I mentioned in the text below that I wanted to talk about the number one reason why tech managers, it's really everyone, but like specifically technical managers, because those are the folks that we work with the most closely and that I have the most experience with. The number one reason why technical managers let imposter syndrome kill their tech careers. They just let it eat away. You let it eat away at you. No, I'm not enough. I can't do this. I'm just going to sit here and not say anything. Why is it even worth it for me to make suggestions? Why is it even worth it for me to go after that promotion? Because they're probably not going to give it to me anyway. They're just going to give it to the smooth talking Mr. Who's a what's it over there. And you let it kill your tech career. Look, the number one reason why right now, if imposter syndrome is rearing its ugly head for you day in and day out, the number one reason why why you're going to let it kill your tech career is because you think you shouldn't have it. You think it shouldn't be there. And it's like you're fighting it. That's the number one reason why tech managers let imposter syndrome kill their tech careers, because they think it shouldn't be present. Go away, imposter syndrome. Go away. I don't want you. Here's the thing. It's a natural feeling. It's gonna happen. It's almost like a requirement. It's like a rite of passage almost. As we upgrade our careers, as we move up higher and higher, because the basic principle here is as you upgrade, as you up level, as you go from level 1 to level 2 to level 3, in whatever game you're playing, and especially in the career game, in the game of life, the challenges get bigger. And one of those challenges is that almost ever present, ongoing internal and external challenge of imposter syndrome. So if you're there and you're like, oh my God, imposter syndrome, there it is again. Oh, go away, go away. bad, bad fly, swat the fly, just, like get it away. It shouldn't be here. I shouldn't have imposter syndrome. I'm good. I shouldn't have imposter syndrome. Why does it even exist in the first place? And you're like fighting it. When it's actually, that's what happens when you're a high performer. That's what happens when you reach a certain level in your career and in your life, have a certain level of skills and abilities. It's like, hey, hang on a second. Am I really as good as I think I am? And it's actually a protective mechanism. It's there. If you look at it in that side of it, it helps us from being like completely egotistical, from being completely like, I'm the best in the world at everything. Right? I don't have anything to learn from anyone else. I'm perfect. I'm super awesome superhero all the time, right? It keeps us in check. Oh, hang on a second. Is it really true that you know that? Is it really true that you're outperforming this person and that person? And as long as you don't assign any meaning beyond, it's just a checking mechanism. It's just your brain's way, your internal guidance mechanism's way of saying, hang on, is that really true? Hang on, is it really true that you're the shit diggity? Right? Because we all want to have confidence, right? I'm awesome. I'm the best leader in this company. Okay, cool. But hang on, is that true? And show me the evidence. Show me the evidence that that's true. And in certain cases, it absolutely may be true, right? And you gather that evidence. So that's actually one of the things, I'll be talking more about this later in the week in terms of like the strategies around really making sure like the best way to kind of combat and fight it. It's making sure that you're consistently gathering that evidence for yourself and for your team members, for your boss, for the decision makers, that yeah, I in fact am the shit diggity. Here's all the evidence for it, all the numbers and all the wins that me and my team have gained along the way. But you know what? Sometimes that thought might pop into your head like, oh wow, like I'm really good at this. And it's like imposter syndrome comes in. It's like, yeah, hang on. Have you mastered this skill yet? Like, no, I haven't really mastered this skill. And so because I'm, I just started, how can I possibly be a master at this leadership thing if I just started a year ago, right? How can I possibly be a master at understanding, this particular team member when he's only been a member of the team for 6 months? It keeps us in check. The problem is we take it too much in the wrong direction of, instead of just stopping at, okay, thank you for letting me, just be aware of the fact that I may not be as good as I think I am. We bring it down the other line, further down the wrong way, where it's like, no, I'm terrible. I can't do this. Right? Just because there's one little thought that pops up in our brain that's like, oh, maybe I'm not good enough. Like, no, I'm not good enough. And I can't do this. And look at what everybody else is doing. You're choosing to do that, by the way, whether you realize it or not. So just becoming more aware of, okay, it's not that I'm an imposter, right? It's essentially just that's you bringing it that far. What it really is just be aware, you still have more to learn. And it's you giving it the meaning, I'm an imposter. And our culture has created this whole name around it it's a whole syndrome called imposter syndrome. So as soon as anybody has any thoughts around, oh, maybe I'm not good enough. I had that thought, I must have imposter syndrome. And then like it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy of, I'm an imposter, I can't do this. See see, there's even a name for it. When it's almost silly, when it's really just, oh, hang on, what do I have to learn? That's it. Here's the evidence that I have more to learn. Here's the evidence that actually I've learned a lot. And so that's the thing. You think that it shouldn't be present. You think that these signs of like, oh, maybe I'm not good enough, that that's a sign that you're like a terrible person and you're never gonna survive as a leader. In fact, when those thoughts are popping in your head of, oh, I wonder if I really am good enough at this. Oh, I wonder if I'm the best leader in the room. Again, they're just there to help you pay attention. That's all. And so it's that one shift from I shouldn't have imposter syndrome and switching that belief to these thoughts of maybe I'm not good enough are simply there to help me pay attention and learn and grow. That's the shift that keeps that imposter syndrome from killing your tech career and from killing the rest of your life and killing your confidence, by the way. So that's essentially what it's all about. And so what happens instead of I'm not good enough, I can't do this, do I deserve a seat at this table, comparing yourself to others, saying I'm never going to be as good as that person or the other person because I'm too young, too old, too female, too white, too black, too whatever. Instead of telling yourself those stories and, oh, I'm never going to do it anyway because the system's against me, and why do I even try, because it's not even worth it to get that promotion, it's not even worth it to try to earn $200K a year. All of those thoughts are you buying into the imposter syndrome bill of goods that you've been sold. But if you make that shift to, it's just about paying attention to what I'm good at and what I'm not, owning what I'm good at, what I'm great at, what I'm extraordinary at, but also owning what I'm not, and being aware of that. If you make that shift, then what your life as a leader becomes is, all right, I am at this table, I have something to learn and I have something to share as well, and people are going to listen to me. I have something to say that people want to hear. And I'm going to ask my boss for a raise because I absolutely deserve it. And here's all the evidence that I've gathered along the way that I do. And maybe I don't get it. Maybe I don't get that promotion in the time that I thought I would, but that doesn't mean that I'm not enough. It means that I'm still fighting. It means that I'm still doing this. And guess what? When you show up that way, your potential increases. The way that you take action is better. You're taking more empowered actions, more intelligent actions. And guess what happens to your results when you show up that way? They get better. Results in terms of what you and your team are accomplishing on a day-to-day basis at work, those performance-based results in terms of your career, getting promotions, getting raises, results in terms of finally living a life of freedom and not having to work your ass off 80 hours a week, those kinds of results. But you're not going to get those if you stay in, it's imposter syndrome. Can't do it. Can't do it. I can't work my way out of it. We all have it. We all have it. And it's just a thing. And it becomes a limiting belief instead of turning it into the empowering belief of, all right, I'm awesome at what I do. That's why I'm actually questioning myself. And questioning myself is what's going to get me to that next level. Not from I'm not good enough place, but from I got this place, and I'm going to keep up leveling. Because the more you up level, the more challenges you face. So that's the number one reason why so many technical managers that we've worked with have let imposter syndrome get in the way. Because I think it shouldn't be in the way. I think there shouldn't be these kinds of challenges. But the challenges are a sign you're actually on the right track. But it's just a question of, how do I actually fight these demons, these mind weasels, this mind trash? How do I take out this mind trash? And, oh, by the way, deal with the inevitable stuff that's happening externally as well, like all the stuff that I was just talking about. Politics, in a word. People that take credit for your suggestions. People that completely shoot down your suggestions. A boss that never listens to you, even though you tell them 10, 15, 20 times that you're going for a promotion, but just doesn't listen to you. Looking at other people get promotions and raises faster than you are. Or if you're on the job market, dealing with recruiters and hiring managers who are just like, I don't know if you should be applying for this job or not. It seems a little bit out of your league. Or recruiters, hiring managers are like, oh yeah, we'll get back to you. We're just not sure. We're not sure if you're a fit, right? All of that external stuff combined with the internal stuff, battling it can be hard. And so if this is resonating with you and you want to fight those imposter syndrome demons and you've been trying to fight them, and what I've been saying either, kind of makes sense, you're just not sure how to implement it, or you've been trying to implement these kinds of things and you're absolutely committed and have been like, yeah, absolutely, I want to have empowering beliefs and I've been doing that, but it's still not working, then book a call with us. Go ahead and go to thepeoplestack.com/book, and we will talk with you about your career. We will talk about, kind of where you are right now in your technical career and also where you want to go. And we'll also, and if imposter syndrome is a huge piece of this, we're actually going to address that as well. And if we can help you kind of fight past those demons and any other demons that you're fighting on the way to your dream career, if we can help you, we're absolutely going to tell you that. But really it's about, if you've even been struggling just a little bit with imposter syndrome, don't delay. Go ahead and book a call and we'll get you back on the right track before it gets worse and worse and worse and worse. And so just go ahead and book a call today, thepeoplestack.com/book. And look, whether or not it ends up being a fit for us to work together, you're still going to get immense value, immense clarity out of this conversation today, or whenever the conversation is. Look, I'm forecasting. I can see the future. I know that some people are going to be booking today. I think we do have a couple of slots available today. That came out as kind of like a Freudian slip. But the other thing, look, is don't delay. Do it today, right? I'll put the link. Actually, I'll put the link in later. But it's thepeoplestack.com/book, B-O-O-K, like Facebook, thepeoplestack.com/book. It'll bring you to our calendar. Just pick a time that works for you. And it's going to be the most clarifying conversation that you've ever had about your tech career. So whether it's imposter syndrome that you're fighting or whether it's something else, it's time to talk. It's time to figure out so that we can get you on the path towards your dream career. So that's thepeoplestack.com/book. So that's it for the day, folks. If you have any other questions, comments, thoughts, concerns about imposter syndrome, either post them in the comment thread down here or create a new post in the group, and we'll go ahead and we will talk about it. So that's it for the day. Like I said, I'll be posting an article tomorrow. I'll be back live on Wednesday at 11 a.m. Eastern with more on how to fight imposter syndrome and how to strategize around making sure that you have all the tools you need and all the support that you have available, all the support that you need in order to make sure that you are using the inevitable imposter syndrome thoughts and feelings that come up, but using them as a benefit, using them as a tool, as your source of power instead of letting it steal your power away from you. So that's it for the day, folks. Take care, and we will talk again soon.